Trypanosomiasis, woman Baka sleeps. Period. He does not pray, he sleeps.
Good morning.
This bundle, I'm looking at his Facebook page here with pictures with the VP. Otis Bundle is in a t-shirt, a VP clad in a pro Boakai t-shirt standing next to Joseph Boakai. He supports Joseph Boakai. And so that's the reason why you hear him. And Otis, we respect people's views here. We are doing things here differently now. We're allowing you to talk, even if you disagree with us. We're allowing you to do that. Some of you can be very annoying, but we'll still try to bear with you. And I don't think you were annoying, or just I don't think you were at all. But I'm just saying that. And don't tell me what angle to take my discussion from. It is not your business whether I discuss the negative or the positive. My issue here is the VP is lying. The VP sleeps. And of course, some of you say, oh, that's been offensive. When the VP lies, the VP lies. And he's lying. He is sleeping. When you see him, his head bowed, who believes that crap? Who believes that every time the VP is at a program, he's praying all through, from start to finish, he's praying? That's absolute. That's a load of crap that I will not believe. Fidel, yesterday I saw.
First of all, let me concord with. Hello.
You are clear.
Let me concord with Costa as it relates to the issue of teachers writing tests. Being in class, I think it's very difficult if teachers and instructors teaching students because it's like they don't understand the subject matter. At the end of the day, they go and give the wrong information and they affect our society. And for the issue I got to do with one of those Joseph Boakai. I think I have Costa is in a position to present an ugly picture on Boakai. There were so many things said on Boakai during the interview that
but I'm not interested in those other things you said.
Hello?
I said I'm not interested in the other things Oman Boakai said.
Let me say that this is a public media. Let me just give my point.
Yeah. Go ahead.
This is a public media. The first thing, if you want to project, if you want to give information, it should be a positive and not just look about the negative, more negative.
No, but you are not the one to tell me what to say, what angle to say.
You got a time to explain because you got a show. Although Boakai was clear on the issue as it relates to the people saying that you can sleep during functionary. If you look at the word sleep, is someone who is mentally, and they unstable mentally. That's the point. Is someone is sleeping. So who go to a functionary, then the person is given an opportunity to speak. The person will go and go get all of the information from the beginning to the end. You see that man was sleeping. Is it true? I say no. Another issue is what is Jesse's plan and not Jesse's plan. We understand all of the functionaries being the last Article 51. So we beg
you. You done now, Otis?
Hello?
Otis, we have to take on a call.
Your minute is up. In fact, we give you more than a minute. Thank you very much. Sesefla, whatever. Trypanosomiasis, woman Boakai sleeps. Period. He does not pray, he sleeps.
Good morning.
This bundle, I'm looking at his Facebook page here with pictures with the VP. Otis Bundle is in a t-shirt, a VP clad in a pro Boakai t-shirt standing next to Joseph Boakai. He supports Joseph Boakai. And so that's the reason why you hear him. And Otis, we respect people's views here. We are doing things here differently now. We're allowing you to talk, even if you disagree with us. We're allowing you to do that. Some of you can be very annoying, but we'll still try to bear with you. And I don't think you were annoying, or just I don't think you were at all. But I'm just saying that. And don't tell me what angle to take my discussion from. It is not your business.
First of all, let me that person must be mentally unconscious, and that person must be lying horizontally. That is the definition of sleep. You cannot have somebody at the program when it is time for prayer, the person puts his head and closes his eyes, and you sit there and say the person is asleep. It's preposterous. You don't do that. So one of these photos is free on Facebook. The vice president is on a program. It is time for prayer. photographing, people who don't like him photographing and post those photos on Facebook, and you sit there and say the boss doesn't sleep. If he always sleeping, is that what he's telling us? How does he go to work? How does he stand up the Capitol building? How does he attend his bills?
Can I ask you a question, Chief?
I'm
Hello?
listening. I'm
Chief,
listening.
can I ask you a question?
I'm listening.
Nobody said the vice president sleeps 24 hours. That's not what anybody said. We've seen videos, not only pictures. We've seen videos of the VP at programs. And he's sitting there next to the president oftentimes. His eyes are closed, head bowed, almost throughout the duration of the program. Are you saying the VP prays that long?
It is time for prayer. That is
No, listen to me,
it is
Chief.
time for prayer.
Hey, Chief, can I ask you a question? We're having a dialogue now.
I'm listening.
We're having a dialogue. Are you saying that for the entire period, the VP's eyes are closed and head bowed? You're saying the VP is praying when the program is going on. Everybody else is looking up and is paying attention. Eyes open. The VP's eyes are closed. His head is bowed. Are you saying the VP is praying throughout that period?
I don't understand your definition of what you mean.
No. I ask you. Listen.
Throughout the program. It is not throughout the entire program.
I did not say. Did I? No, I did not say that. No, Chief. I did not say that. I did not say throughout the program. I said. In a lot of cases, in the videos and things that we've seen, not the pictures, because the pictures will not convey the actual thing. The pictures, the still photograph, as they call it, STILL, still photograph only depict a moment that is captured, a millisecond or so. But videos say much more. Now, the videos show that we've seen videos of the VP sitting next to the president or other people. The president's head is open. Her head is lifted high. Her eyes are open. But the vice president's head is bowed. The vice president, his eyes are also closed. And we've seen videos that show many long meanings of the vice president having his head bowed and eyes closed. Are you saying all through that period, the VP is sleeping? Is praying?
Father, it is impossible for one to sit and sleep. It is impossible. It is impossible for one
to sit and sleep. Fidel, is it impossible to sit and sleep?
Probably he's trying. I don't know, but
don't say what do you call impossible? Do you know what? Anybody can sleep in any position. It is not impossible to sit and sleep. Are you kidding me, folks? This man is telling you, when did you become an expert on sleep?
You must be mentally unconscious. And you must be
okay, horizontally. Thank you very much. We are going to leave it there. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, my brother.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Now, folks, did you hear that guy? What makes him an authority on sleeping? You're not an authority on sleeping. People can stand and sleep. People can sit and sleep. People can be driving and fall asleep. Have you not heard about people driving and falling asleep behind the steering, Fidel?
It happened to me just a few days ago. Okay, I was leaving the airport because I stayed there for the longest, and while on my way, I had to park the car. In fact, when I witnessed the first incident, I had to park the car and sleep before even venturing to move again. So I don't know. Probably he's trying to look at one aspect of the definition that talks about lying and what have you. But hey, you fall asleep at any position. Don't argue about that. Okay, it's not an argument.
The guy is telling me that people can sit and sleep. Wow. People can sleepwalk. Have you heard about sleepwalking? Doesn't the guy know what they call sleepwalking? People can be walking and sleeping if you don't even know that. You see, when you do these things, you make yourself just look small. But we will allow you to speak because, we're different here now. Let's go back to the phone lines today and take more calls.
Good morning.
You don't even know what that is sleep. All the research on sleep. There are 47 different kinds of sleep. So you should go by to research your comment to say, thank you.
Thank you.
And Fidel,
yeah,
the gentleman said people don't sit and sleep. Now, I have flown quite a few times in my life. And every time I have a long flight, I sleep. I sit right in my seat and I sleep for hours. When I was on my way from Liberia back to the U.S., I slept almost 60% or 70% through the flight. of the various flights that I had, you know. And then for you to say that people don't sleep when it's set, are you kidding me? That's a lie. Let's go back to the phone lines and take more calls there. Nobody's going to make a sleepy old man president of the country. If he's sleeping, that will be looting the country. Let's take more calls there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here. This is J. Randy here. And again, we are back here this time around to show you a couple of videos for your evening entertainment. So thank you so much for joining me here. And let me apologize for the issue of not getting connected. Let me see if I can hear myself. So I can hear myself here now. So election time is coming around. And we are trying to look for those guys then who have made some comment over the time, and you just listen to one of the guys. All right, he just said something, and I want to repeat that for you guys here quickly here. All right, let me repeat that quickly here. All right, so let's go back 1 minute. Okay, let's listen to him again.
You know, but we'll allow you to speak because, you know, we're different here now. Let's go back to the phone lines today and take more calls.
Good morning. You don't even know that it's free. All the research is free. There are 47 different kinds of free. So you should go by to research your comment before you Thank you.
Thank you.
And you know, Fidel,
Yeah.
the gentleman said people don't sit and sleep. Now, I have flown quite a few times in my life. And every time I have a long flight, I sleep. I sit right in my seat and I sleep for hours. When I was on my way from Liberia to back to the US, I slept almost 60% or 70% through the flight, or the various flights that I had, you know. And for you to say that people don't sleep when it's set, are you kidding me? That's a lie. Let's go back to the phone lines and take more calls there. Nobody's going to make a sleepy old man president of the country. If he's sleeping, that will be looting the country. Let's take.
So you hear it for yourself, folks. Nobody is going to make a sleepy old man president. So when he's sleeping, so that people can loot the country. And you will imagine that Liberians will remember that. Did you guys hear the guy? The man just told you nobody is going to make a sleepy old man president so people can start looting the country. If you missed that one, I hope you don't miss it when the real time comes for election to take place, because all these guys who are behind this old man, they know the old man sleeps. They know that. And that is why they put him to get to that presidency so they can start to loot. This video was recorded in 2016. That audio you just listened to, it was recorded, not video, but this audio was captured in 2016 when Ellen was still president of Liberia. And you heard the man telling you that nobody going to make the old man anything, especially the president, because he will be sleeping and people will be stealing. I hope you're letting your people know in the country that these people who support the old man, they know exactly what they are pushing the old man for. People tend to forget from the past, but I try to bring the past to the present so that people can understand. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, today is Veteran Day. I have a very important video here for you guys here. Yeah, a very important video here. Let me just put it on the screen there quickly. I'm going to put it here on pause, all right? Because it contains some music and I don't want the music to be on there. So let me put it on pause and bring it up for you guys, all right? So it's on pause.
Know that I'm making a difference in the community,
all right. So this is one of my big five here. This is one of my big five. Yes, this is one of my big five. Today he will feature on. Can you guys hear me? Are you guys can hear me? Let me see where you guys can hear me here. Hold on there, guys. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm sure you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hold on, I'm frozen here. You guys can hear me? All right, you guys can hear me. All right, cool. So this is one of your big five. This is one of your big five. He's always come on the show to watch. So we're going to listen to him today. He spoke on Veteran Day, as you can see his title there. All right. He is also a police officer, and he thought it wise to share the video with me today. And I thought it wise to bring it here too. These are people I'm very proud of in this country. Yes, I'm very proud of them. They are making significant contribution to the motherland on behalf of what the country gave them here. So let me try to blow him up bigger here. All right. Let me try to make him big here. All right. There you go. So this is a conversation. Let's listen to the conversation now.
Life or other people. So that's something to be really proud.
The environment.
Let's go back again. I don't want to hear the music,
I feel important because I know that I'm making a difference in the community, in the life of other people. So that's something to be really proud.
So that is our guy there. You heard the man talking? That is your own Liberian brother there. All right? And I take you the guy serving both the police and the army, the military reserve. That's him right there. All right, let's listen to other people too. All right, but we'll be very careful with the music here because we don't want for Facebook to interfere with our broadcast. So let's listen to the next batch of people.
The environment in the military was very diverse and also inclusive. People from all over the country, from all economic backgrounds, all walks of life, joined and worked together in a team to accomplish a mission. And here at Metro State, the environment is also diverse and inclusive, and it's really the same goal. We're all here working together to get our degrees and to enter the workforce and make the world better.
So that's it there, guys. That's it there. Let's move on to the next one. I don't want the music to be playing here because that music there can cause Facebook to stop my broadcast.
Right. And aligned with what I had been doing with the military. It allowed me to continue the advocacy that I was doing with sexual assault survivors, working on behalf of my soldiers, and carry that over. I was hoping that it would help with the transition from military to civilian to be able to serve something bigger than myself.
All right. So that's it there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys that remove the video here and come up here. So I'd like to say a big thank you to those who serve today, who make this country to be a place that we all can come and cause people harm and abuse the people here. But many of us don't know what really happened here to protect the freedom here. So I would like to say thanks to all those who serve this country, and let's continue to do the best we can to do our part in this country here. So that's the first guy having to be one of my big five, one of your good friends. He had done his part here. All right. Now we're going to be going from one stage to another. All right. We're going to be going from one stage to another. And the next video I would like you guys to look at here is a very teachable moment video. Yes. Very, very teachable moment video. All right. It is going to tell you what we are doing on Facebook and what we are not teaching our people back home. And that's the purpose of me bringing the video then up here today to help you guys understand. So let's bring the other video up here.
Ben Meiselas from the Midas Touch Network.
So let's bring the video up here. All right. Let's bring the video up here. Let's bring the video up here. Now you can see the video. Let me hide it in here. So now you can see the video. This is a typical talk show host. This guy you're looking at right here, he is a typical talk show host. All right. The guy you're looking at here is a typical talk show host in the US. He does the same thing that many of your people then do around here. including myself. But I only want you to listen to what he is going to say. I want you to listen to what he's going to say. And then we'll pause few videos because we don't want to bring American politics 100% into our conversation. Yes, we don't want to bring American politics into our conversation. Yes. So what I would like us to do is to listen to what the guy is about to say here, right? All right. He's a talk show guy too on Facebook. Yeah. But let's listen to his logic he's coming to make here, and then we'll begin to analyze it. All right. So let me just bring him all the way up here. All right. Ready? Let's go.
I'm Ben Meiselas from the Midas Touch Network. I want to compare and contrast what took place in Pennsylvania this weekend between the Donald Trump fascist rally, which took place in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, compared to the pro-democracy rally held for the Democratic candidates in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, led by Obama and Biden, for Josh Shapiro, who's the Democratic candidate for governor, and John Fetterman, who's the Democratic candidate for senator. The stark contrast between these two events reveals the priorities of the parties. On the one hand, you have Democrats who are talking about issues that actually matter to people: healthcare, education, infrastructure, freedom over their body, freedom from right-wing politicians who want to tell you who you can love and how you need to live your life. And Democrats talking about those issues. On the other hand, you got...
All right. So why am I bringing this up? What did you learn from this guy a few minutes ago? Forget about whether it is Democrat, Republican. This guy is running his own talk show. He is speaking to his audience and trying to draw a campaign conclusion between the Democrats and the Republican. The key thing I want you to understand, he spoke about issue, and he did list some of the issue that the people in this country, Liberians in the country, everything he talked about, Liberians that voted this gone Tuesday in this country for the Democrat, everything that he listed, Liberians that voted for Republican, everything they believe in, they were all based on what? Issue. That is what this guy is trying to bring in. Now, when you listen to other talk show, other people that live in this country, when they have their talk show and they're talking about politics, how often do you hear the word, let's discuss the issue? What are the issues? And that is why I decided to bring the video here. But do you think Liberians ready to learn this thing here? No. They're not going to learn this thing because the country is not meant to improve. They only bring about attack politics. So let's listen again. Let's listen to the guy again, all right? Let's listen to him one more time, and then we'll make it just as that.
On the one hand, you have Democrats who are talking about issues that actually matter to people.
Okay, issue that matter to the people, right? Yes. How often do you hear people who represent their party, talk show hosts who want to inform the Liberian people? How often do you hear them discussing the issue? Now, what are some of the issues? Let's listen again. This is the American political conversation that we're having, or a regular talk show guy, like many of the other talk show people. But you're seeing the big difference between how they discuss the thing to educate their people here. He's speaking to his audience. He's speaking to his audience. And I'm sure some Liberians listen to him. But you see how he's focused on the issue that will motivate the people to vote as to who they want to vote for. He represents a party. He's talking about a party. Let me progress.
Healthcare.
Healthcare. That's another issue people are concerned about. Don't we have healthcare issue in Liberia? Of course we do. But how many people are talking about healthcare issue in Liberia to their audience? Nobody.
Education.
Education. How many people on a different platform in Liberia will come from the United States on their platform, talk about the issue of healthcare, education?
Infrastructure.
Infrastructure. How many people talking about infrastructure on their different talk show? How many people talking about infrastructure? How knowledgeable are Liberians that listen to the different platforms where Liberians are that are focused on the issue, healthcare, education, infrastructure? How many of the people educating our people in order to make a satisfactory decision to vote for a candidate?
Freedom over their
freedom over everything. How many people are teaching our people those things? That is the question there, folks. That is why I decided to bring the video on today. How many of our people understand the issue? Let's be honest. How many of our people understand the issue? Right now, they're done with everything and they're going to sleep. They don't give a damn. The people in the country are not voting on anything but just on party line or because somebody telling them to vote. That's how sad it is, folks. That's how sad it is. But that's the country we find ourselves in, right? That's the country we find ourselves in. That is the country we find ourselves in today. All right. So let's come back to the video here. We're going to be back on the video here. Let's come back to the video here and try to expand on a few things here. All right. Let's come back to the video again. Let's come back to the video here. And let's listen to a few more things here again, folks. Let's listen to a few more things here. All right. Let's listen to, in fact, before we do, let's come to the late Mr. Walker Bronskin.
At the University of Liberia, I have known His Excellency, the Vice President, Joseph N. Boakai, for many years. I first met him a long time ago at the University of Liberia. I have known Vice President Boakai longer than any other person in the presidential race and have always considered him a friend. I have had a lot of respect for him, but the lure of power seemed to have gotten the better of His Excellency. Today, the supporters of His Excellency Joseph Boakai presents him as a poor man from Nofa and assert that he will understand the plight of the poor people. Fellow Liberians, do not be fooled. Vice President Boakai is not poor like you, not even as me. As Vice President, his office received more money. His office received more money from the government budget than any other vice president has received in Liberia's history. He has enjoyed some of the best and most lucrative government jobs. Minister of Agriculture, Ambassador, Managing Director of LPMC, at the time when LPMC had money, and several other positions. First President Boakai might have been poor a long time ago, but today he is among the richest. He is among the richest 1% of Liberians who are enjoying the best of this country. For the 2017-2018 fiscal year, the government For the 2017-2018 fiscal year, the government has proposed to give the office of the Vice President about $2.4 million United States dollars. For the current fiscal year, 2016-2017, the government will give the office of the vice president about 2.2 million United States dollars. For 2015-2016 fiscal year, the government gave the office of the vice president about 2.3 million United States dollars. For 2014-2015 fiscal year, while Ebola was raging and killing people in Lofa, the office of the vice president received about 1.8 million United States dollars. In total, since the 2014 budget year, and over the last 3 years, the vice president office has received about 8.7 million United States dollars. Our vice president's salary and benefits have not been reduced by 1 cent because of Ebola or because of a failing economy. And Mr. Vice President, I say to you, this is not talk of the people on the street. What I speak of is variable. These are variable facts in the government budget. While the office of the Vice President has received nearly 9 million United States dollars from 2014 fiscal year to now, the total spending on health institutions in Lofa, his own county, for the same 3-year period was only $3.4 million. One man got about $9 million for his office. The account for all the people in Lofa healthcare got about $3.4 million. Only $1.3 million is proposed for Lofa Health Institution for the fiscal year 2017-2018. The Lofa Community College, where the children go to school, who cannot come to Monrovia, get only $3.4 million United States dollars for operations and construction. This is unfair. The poor.
Well, he may be dead and gone, but the reality is what we're living with now today. This is why it is important that people leave information behind, because society in the future will judge what is currently happening here today. This vice president you see here today, like the man said, he presents himself like he is some type of old and poor guy. No, he is not old, neither is he poor. Now, let's validate what Mr. Walker Bronskin said. May his soul rest in peace. Let's validate that from somebody who support Mr. Walker today. Ready for that? Let's go.
Welcome back to the program, folks. We will be taking some gentlemen from the what are they called? They got told you we're going to look at what the Vice President Joseph Yuma Bwaga gets in this budget. Yes, I have it open here before me. Does he still get the $81,000 for entertainment? Let's see whether he does. Yes, I have Office of the Vice President. The total budget the VP has in this year's budget, of course, the budget is before the National Legislature. Budget hearings are underway, as you may be aware. The Vice President gets $2,431,003. $2,431,003 in this year's budget. Let's go break it down. The group of 77, that's the group his wife manages, is the group that caters or supposedly caters to people living with disabilities. The group of 77. They have here is a component on the Vice President.
So this information, Mr. Walker Bronskin gave a projection or he estimate for 3 years. In a 3 years time, he got 9 million. This guy is only giving his budget in 2016. Now you're going to listen to what the VP is actually enjoying from that budget, right? But today, they are not talking about it. Every one of them who's supporting the VP today, including the guy you're hearing, listen to what he comes to say about the budget, right? Listen.
The group of 77, what do they get in this year's budget? The group of 77 gets they get $237,244.
So the group of 77, all right. Let me just bring myself closer. The group of 77, like I always told you guys, the group of 77 are people who were born or children that were born with disability, and they grew up. Basically, they were handicaps. So under Turnbull administration, he decided to give that responsibility to the vice president to cater to the disability community of Liberians. So every time the budget is cut, every VP will get their own, including Joel Howard Taylor. But how do you determine that that money is actually being put to use? Be my guest. Go to Liberia and see how the people over there are living. Go there and see how they are living. If they are living affordable life with some basic essential, that's fine. But all the time Boka were over there, Boka did not do anything with all the money he got. Listen more.
$237,244. Woods, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Good, good. All right, then we go and break it down in the vice president's office. You have basic salary for civil servants in the VP's office. You have, what do you have? $109,188. The salary for civil servants. You have the general allowance in the vice president's office is $524,052. You have special allowance, $215,688. Foreign travel, means of travel in the vice president's office, you know, how much he spends on buying air tickets. $113,000 US, foreign travel, DSA, what he gets when he travels. $112,000. Foreign travel, incidental allowance, $50,000. Domestic travel, when the VP travels across the country, they have absolutely no money for domestic travel, for means of travel. But they have, for domestic travel, they have DSA. What he gets when he travels domestic.
Top FM.
I think it's Top FM. Top FM, I'm hearing myself. Top FM. Top FM in Zwedru. And to all my amazing people in Zwedru, in all parts of Grand Jita County, I want to say good morning to you folks. And so when the VP travels across the country, domestically, when he travels, he gets $512,116. Now, Woods, isn't this the same VP who wrote the ADA requesting for $10,000 to travel to Lofa?
The same VP, as if something is not in the budget reflective of that purpose.
Nah, fellow Liberians, wait. Let me hold you out there. I just discovered something. Wait for my discovery. Wait for my discovery. This is an amazing discovery. I'm excited like a little child. Who man I bring Christmas gift? Ain't no one in little child man bring Christmas gift. Eh?
They say when you find Bill Gates, well,
hey man, you can't even wait. You're just wait. Let me tell you what I come to tell you. You will not even believe it. I come to tell you. I come to tell you something new. You know,
new thing right here.
Hey, but I just discovered something in the VP budget.
It make as much you said.
It make us something in the budget. You know. And you see the VP be traveling all over the place. We told you, I said they will give the VP more money just to be traveling all over the place, right? To be campaigning. You had a proof right here. I just found a proof. Listen.
Fine line item.
Domestic travel. Okay, let me break domestic travel down so I can understand. Domestic travel means to be going from Lofa
internally in the counties.
In the country, to travel in the counties all over. Yeah. That's what they call domestic travel. In the VP's budget last year, let me tell you what he got for domestic travel. 2015-2016 budget, the VP received $178,992 for domestic travel.
See how it can increase.
This year, the VP's budget for domestic travel is $512,116.
From 1 to 5. From 1 to 5.
So we increased the VP's budget. I want you to deduct 178.
So the guy who is campaigning for the VP today, praising the man today, is the same man between 2014 and 2015, giving how wasteful the country has been. And then come to 2016, how much he has gotten again for 15 and 16. I mean, for 16 and 17. How much you have gotten? You're hearing the man there. But again, the question here is what and how much information our people got to believe who actually they need to listen to, and why should they vote for certain people. You listen to the white guy that came here, talk about the issue from health to education, infrastructure, and freedom, and he lists so many things. But the guy will come, if they are not in the corner of the politician, they will bring all the information out and they will try to give it to you guys. But what they're not telling you is, why should you vote for somebody? Because that person got the issue in your community, the issue that matters the most to you, your health, your education. They're not telling you all those things. So that listen to the guy again. Listen to him more.
$1,000 if you let me find the thing here.
Deduct $178,000 from $512,116. All right, I got my calculator.
Yeah, 178.
Yeah, you deduct 178,000
from 500 and
178,992 minus 512,116. Okay, so the VP gets an increment of $333,124.
333. Wow.
Yep.
Increment.
And do you know why they give him all that plenty of money for traveling? For campaign, folks.
The man gets almost 200% increment. 200%.
What did he get? In 2014, 2015, in the budget for the same line item, domestic travel, means of travel across the country, GSE, the VP got $126,000 US for 2014, 2015, $126,678. In 2015, 2016, the VP got $72,000. This was the outturn. What they give him, they increased it. In fact, what they put in the budget for the VP for domestic travel, for daily subsistence allowance to travel across the country, in 2015, 2016 was actually $72,591. But by the time the budget year ended, they increased it.
So the main portion of the campaign expenses is budgeted already.
Nuts. The next budget, the VP is probably going to get $1 million or $2 million just to be traveling across the country. They'll put it in the budget.
Yes.
Now, we're not supposed to be increasing the VP's budget just so. And I'm telling the lawmakers, I'm calling your attention to this line item right now. The VP is running for president. Some of you in the legislature are running for president. Even not that, but the fact is, should we increase the VP's money just to travel across the country to run his campaign? Now we increase the VP's budget here by over 200% just to travel across the country to campaign. This is not fair to us. It's our tax dollars.
That is the
let Joe Biden go raise his own money. But we shouldn't be giving Joe Biden. Don't be surprised the next budget they will be putting $5 million in the budget for Joseph Biden campaign. This is absolute nonsense.
From 178,000 straight to 500,000+. Could you imagine?
You see that?
So that was the discussion there, guys. That was the discussion back in 2016, prior to the election in 2016. That was the discussion from this guy who is supporting Mr. Boyka today. And today he's supporting Boyka. So everything he said about the man is all gone now in the past. And today he's sitting there now trying to convince people that Joseph Boyka is the main man now. When you listen to the first video where he said Joseph Boyka, all right, it's nothing, it's going to be nothing, but it's just a sleeping man who going to sleep so that people can take money, people can loot the country. But today you will not hear our brother and sister then coming back with a kind of statement. You will not hear them talking about it. You will not hear them talking about that, my friend. You will not hear them talking about that.
Some of you think, ask yourselves, sit down and ask yourselves.
All right. So we're not waste our time on that. So let's move. Yeah, what's up, V? Let's move to something very important here now. Let's move to something else. and that will be what I promised you guys today. The issue of Semenko, right? So you guys are going to learn something very important here tonight. And I'm not going to repeat myself again because it is something very, very important to my career. But I thought it was to share with you guys so that you can gain some knowledge whenever you see something that they're going forward. So let's remove this photo from here of Mr. Boycott. The election time next year and throughout this year, we'll talk more about that because we got enough information here to actually destroy these guys. But we are not going to campaign for anybody here. But I just thought it was to just give you guys a heads up as to what we have in terms of these different political guys. So that comes to something very important here, all right? And that has to do with this guy they call Jetty, all right? This is Mr. Jetty here. All right, I hope this play. Okay, let's see here.
Is a huge facility, first of its kind in Liberia, a rubber processing facility belonging to businessman Jetty, there in the distance talking. So let's hear what he has to say.
So, guys, this is a very interesting conversation. It is an opportunity for many Liberians. But what I want you guys to understand are the following things. If you will recall that back in the days when Firestone in Magibi County first came to Liberia and started to establish a Firestone plantation with the emphasis of carrying out pre-processing latex to be shipped abroad, right? The situation is almost like this current situation here. Today, people in the Ghanaville area are also in similar situation with another processing plant, and that is the Semenko factory. Communities of people are complaining about the dust, the noise, and other unfavorable condition of activities surrounding Semenko. Now, the question here now is, Jay, I asked you this before, and I will ask you again, who can we trust? Because we have to make our trust. Yeah. Let me see. V asked me a very V, that's a very good question there. All right. V, that's a very good question. But what I can tell you now is this. If the opposition are not honest to the Liberian people, from the talk show host, in fact, let me bring the team so I can address V here quickly here. All right. V, your question is very interesting. But for me right now, from what I have experienced, the only thing I can tell anybody, including you, one, I will do my best to provide the information to make and allow Liberians to make a satisfactory decision. I will not say informed, because informed now is becoming more user-friendly than more many Liberian politicians. When a politician is talking about what we talk about here, about making informed decision, I don't even want to take that word from them anymore. So we change it now to a satisfactory voting decision. So to your question, I will come here to provide necessary information to help Liberians understand their right to vote, not only to vote, but on the issue that matter the most to them. We will bring to the light of our awareness the various issue in the country: healthcare, education, infrastructure. We'll bring it to the people, and then we'll tell them what they need to understand. Another thing that I would do too is, if the opposition are very dishonest, then they will be, so we will end up winning the election. Until the opposition can be very honest. And honesty means speak the truth. Be very open to the Liberian people. Be very fair with the Liberian people. until they can do those things, which I believe they will never do, until they can open their hands to welcome people. Many of the voters will just feel that they're just using them just to get to power and nothing. And that is what I will also be saying as part of my public awareness. But as far as your direct question to me, I don't really know who to tell to vote for. V, I will be honest with you, my brother V. I don't really know who to tell the Liberian people, but I will give them the understanding. I will give them the understanding as to what they need to do. It's like you to Ghanaville Estate. I mean, you to Red Lake Market. There are two ways to come to the executive mansion. You either take the Freeport Way or you take the Tubman Boulevard. Either way, you will get to the executive mansion. It's up to you now to decide which way to take. I will not tell you which way is long, which way got traffic and stuff like that, because I don't even trust the driver there on the street. That's how I'm going to push this thing here now. So with that being said, let's come back to Jetty here. So Mr. Jetty is in Margibi County trying to build a process plant. He's going to be manufacturing. Now, let's all get into some specific environmental situation here, right? And this is for your own understanding, free of charge, no money to pay. But we'll not be very detailed here because sometimes after the show, the government official they will come and listen to the thing here, and then they will go and do it. They will never get credit. And that's part of dishonesty too on some of the government officials. That's why the whole country just fucked up. And you know, they will not come on your show, but when your show is over, then they will go and be listening to what the guy said about it, what the guy said about this. And that is why I'll be very careful here. But I'll be very, very brief and not too detailed in what I'm going to explain here, right? So let's go through Mr. Jetty as he explained here. Let's go through that. And then I will start to make some points. Yes, I will start to make some points. All right. So let's listen to Jetty here.
December. So they will start installing, and it will take them 2.5 months to install it. Then I'm into line.
Yes, sir. So you say by when you expect to have this project fully launched?
Fully launched end of February.
By the end of February. And what is this? Can you tell us what you have here?
Right now we are into a factory shed, prefab shed. And this construction is 164,000 square foot. That's only the factory shed, but not other buildings. There are buildings on site, warehouse, prefab building, pre-breaker building, chemical warehouse, and all other things. Those are separate. And this is the only thing I'm talking about at the moment.
Okay. So in terms of the, so this is supposed to be a rubber processing facility?
Yes, the first stage of what is, I'm going to do TSR 10 and TSR 20, technical specified rubber 10 and technical specified rubber 20.
All right. So let's do small environmental study here now, right? All right. So the journalist that is asking this question, he is asking some important question. I want you to picture the thing like you're going to cook, or your girlfriend or your wife going to cook. What are you cooking today? Well, I am going to be cooking palm butter. All right. Now, what is the process in cooking palm butter? Well, I have to go get all the ingredients. And then what are you going to be using to cook? Well, I'm going to be using fire coal. I'm going to be using the stove. I'm going to boil the palm nut. I'm going to do this, right? Now, when you get that palm nut and put it in the pot, you boil the palm nut, right? Now, that water you boil the palm nut with, when that palm nut finally boiled, you're going to take that palm nut out of the pot. I'm giving the example like back in Liberia now, not what we have here now in the can. Even in the can, we have some way that we can do the processing to get the real juice. But I want you to take you back home, how we do our palm nut preparation to get a very good sweet palm butter, right? Now, this is very important. And if they miss the pot and the thing start, the particular facilities start to operate, what I'm saying here today, if they miss out on what is happening here, people will start dying around that community between 15 to 20 years from now. People will start dying in that area. And people will start feeling uncomfortable in that area. Yes, that's what will start happening in that area. So I just want to make sure that I set the record straight. Because the comparison I'm giving here will also show why Simenco is the way it is today. So Mr. Jetty is telling you that I am going to build this plan to process rubber into finished product. He's not doing it at Firestone, even though Firestone is polluting the water. He is going to process. So as an environmentalist, I want to bring the coking palm motor to your attention. So we'll use the coking palm motor as the raw example, and then as Mr. Jetty continues to explain, we will blend the palm motor and with what Mr. Jetty will be saying. So Mr. Jetty said he is going to what? Open up a processing plant to process tire to finished product, latex to finished product. So we are choosing to go to the market and buy for ourselves palm oil to cook a decent palm butter. First thing we'll do with the palm oil, we'll bring it, we'll put it in a pot, we boil it to get cooked. When that happens, the next thing we'll do, we'll take the palm nut and put it in a mortar and start to beat it to change the contents and make it more soft. Right? Now, so Mr. Jetty is saying that he's going to get latex of 2 different qualities. So let's hold the palm nut in the mortar. Now, let's focus on what Mr. Jetty is going to say here again. All right? So let me progress here. It's taking time.
That's the first phase of it. Okay. Second phase will be a tire factory. That will be on that end.
Okay, all the way there.
That end you see it.
Mm-hmm.
That high-rise building, I need around 14 acres for that.
So what will you do with that high-grade kind of rubber?
In the first phase, what I will be producing both TSR 10, TSR 20. When I reach to the grade of TSR 10, then the rubber factory tire machine will start installing it.
So the TSR 10, TSR 20, what is it going to produce for the common man, how they to understand? What are the finished products?
Finished product out of his only tire.
Okay. So, I hope you guys can hear me now. All right? So let me progress here. And I will take my time to explain it. All right? So let me progress. All right, guys? Let me see what you guys can hear me here. So, I hope you guys can hear me now. All right? All right. So let me progress. So, he is saying he is going, all right? He is going now to start to process rubber into finished product. The next question that you need to ask him now is, he is going to process the rubber, right? Okay. And then let freeze the rubber part and come to the palm nut. The palm nut in the pot, right? I mean in the mortar. You beat the palm nut. What are you going to cook? I'm going to cook palm butter. I'm going to cook a very decent palm butter soup. All right. But what are you doing now? I got the palm nut in the mortar. I'm going to be beating the palm nut. And then I'm going to take the palm nut out of the mortar and put it into a pan. Now, what are you going to be doing to that palm nut? You're going to waste water on it. And then you're going to squeeze the juice. Once you get done, you're going to take the weed from the palm nut. You're going to dump it. That is the hazardous waste. When he processes the tire, there will be dirty water that will clean the product, and that dirty water will contain some dirt in it, where is he going to dump it? You follow me? When you squeeze the palm nut, that dirt you take from inside of the weed, you dump it down, right? In the case, you're going to put it in the trash. But for him, that water he's going to use to wash the rubber latex, plus the chemical he's going to use, that's not regular water. That is called the hazardous waste. Now, in Liberia, the EPA should be telling him now that you will need a water and groundwater and soil contamination permit. That permit from the EPA will tell him where he should be dumping that thing. Because if he starts dumping it on the ground, those that will start living around there, the animals, the human being, that chemical will start to affect the water. It will start to affect the water. And then when they send it starting everything out, they need to start everything together. Now, let me progress here again. And forgive me, the video is so slow. So when I click on it, it takes some time, all right? So the palm nut, now we finish squishing the palm nut. We now put the juice in there. So the trash is a hazardous waste now, right? Now, let's listen to him again. It will take a while. So just be patient. I don't know why his video taking so slow to play. Because I got to buffer a little bit before you kick in. So let's see how much time it's taking. Because I just click on that. Maybe I should go back and bring another video up there again. I think that's what I need to do. Let's go back. Let me bring a fresh video of him. And let's see what will happen here. So let's get
only
back.
Tire.
Okay.
Out of TSR, you can only make tire.
So what else aside from the tires you will be producing?
I will be working on it to see if I can produce, and it's viable to produce condoms and surgical hand gloves.
All right. So he's going to be producing condoms and surgical hand gloves. Those are all finished products. But the process in how you get the palm butter and this rest on the table, that is the finished product. But what you do in the process is what we're concerned about. So when the palm butter is found in a pot, you're going to take the pot. So the fact that he's going to process, he's going to use chemical that to clean the rubber. He's going to mix it up with water. So we know that he will need a water permit, and then he will need a soil discharge permit as to where he's going to put the contamination, right? So that two permit we know now. The soil permit to not contaminate the ground and the groundwater, and then we need a water permit not to also contaminate the water now. Now, what is he going to be doing to get the chemical to the final product? What process is he going to use now to start cooking that rubber? Is he going to be using stove? Is he going to be using how they call it, a big boiler? But what fuel are you going to use? So when the palm butter is in the pot, how are you going to cook the palm butter? Are you going to put wood under the fire to boil the palm butter? Most of the time it happens. Are you going to use fire coal to boil the palm butter? Now, whether it is wood, it's fire, guess what's going to happen? You're going to start to release some form of smoke in the air. That smoke is going to contaminate the air you breathe. And that way you will need air permit. So in a rubber plant factory, how he going to cook the rubber? What means he's going to use? He's going to be buying fuel oil, or he's going to be buying gasoline. He has to cook that rubber to get it onto a finished product. That means you need to get an air permit. If those things are not put into place to manage how Mr. Jetty going to do his operation, while it is true that people will be working and getting paid, their behavior from that factory will start to impact people's life. Because the chemical they're using, it must be controlled. Whether they're polluting the air or they're going to contaminate the groundwater, the government of Liberia should be able to work with Mr. Jetty to make sure that he does not do what happened in Simeko today. Many times today in Simeko, you see people coming around, they dust too much, because when those people were doing those things, at that time, our level of understanding was not to where it is today. So this factory is starting today. Many times you're not here, but Firestone politics, they want to, Firestone doing this. This case is a perfect case to change things around. But let me ask you this. Do you think any Liberian get it then to come listen to me here? You ready? You really think Liberian can listen to me here? You got to be out of your mind if you think that Liberian will come and say, Jay Randy, you're making sense here. No. Because they are not reached that level. Like how you got many surgeons in this country, many other people with different career. That is why I always tell you guys, Liberia is my country, but I cannot go to Liberia to live, because the level of where some of us reach, Liberia is not ready for us to work in our country, to be honest. Yes, to be very, very honest with you guys. The country is not ready for some of us. Now, that's just the EPA aspect now, right? Yes, just the EPA aspect. Now, let's go to the OSHA aspect now. So let Mr. Jetty explain a little bit, and then we will follow up with the explanation. So as far as the environmental protection goes in the country, we are lay out what we think they need. But do they have the department to issue the permit? Do they have the department to issue the permit? I don't know where they have the department to issue the permit. All they are concerned about is he's going to build some type of factory, and that's all they are all happy about, which is good. Yes, which is good. But what will be the impact? And how do we reduce the impact on the people? That's something that we have to look into. So as Mr. Jetty explained now, we're already trying to protect his activities from not impacting the environment, right? So the next thing we're going to listen to now is what type of equipment that he will be bringing into the factory, and how knowledgeable our people are in working with the equipment, not to get finger cut, arm cut, not to get something splashing in your eyes. Which institution in Liberia will protect it? Remember, we are going to start to operate a factory in our country, and we are not so good in the factory operation. My video keeps freezing here. I don't know what the heck going on here today. Yes. All right. We are not so good in doing those things. So freezing here because I just took it up. All right. So let's go back and listen to Mr. Jetty here now.
I was wondering if this is going to be profitable in the future. Surely everything where there is will, there is way. But why did you decide as an individual businessman to build a rubber processing facility in Liberia, a country that has had rubber forever but has never had such a facility? I just wanted to do something which nobody has done. That was always my dream, to do something for Liberia, which is my home. I always say I'm a citizen of India, but a Liberian by heart. So I wanted to do something for place where my heart is, where my soul is, that which nobody else has done
it. And we should commend him for that. We should tell God thank you first, and then we should tell him thank you second. But for every good thing, there is a downside to it. And the downside is the risks that we need to really look at. And that is why we're having the conversation. So as far as your question goes, Moyu, there was something that he said, and let's listen to him.
What does this mean for farmers, people all over this country who have rubber farms? I will tell all of them that they should start opening their farms. I will buy rubber from everybody. For every length and breadth of Liberia, I will buy rubber, because I will need around 5,000 metric tons of rubber per month.
Are you going to be paying them immediately, or are you going to be asking them to give you the rubber and after a while before you pay them?
I will pay them cash on delivery. You bring the rubber to my site. If I have buying station, you bring it there, you will get cash on delivery.
So that is an opportunity now for people to start to grow more rubber in the country, because he's going to localize his importation or his purchasing. So that would depend. The number of people that keep bringing to his station or to his factory will create more job opportunity for many Liberians. It's going to be coming up again. Yes. I don't know, for some reason, we're not having a good night tonight. But we'll try to do the best we can. All right? So you hang tight in there. It's coming up. Let me see where I can refresh it here. Probably should get him back up here. I'm bringing it back in. I'm bringing it back in and with our one.
Okay. Nobody will go.
My name is Julius.
That will be working in the factory. Security separate, other people separate. The house carrying staff, this staff, but the people.
Are you going to be paying them immediately, or are you going to be asking them to give you the rubber and after a while before you pay them?
I will pay them cash on delivery. You bring the rubber to my site. If I have buying station, you bring it there, you will get cash on delivery.
That's good.
Okay.
Nobody will go from here without receiving cash money for the product you have brought to us.
What is the possible employment rate you are eyeing, and what is the longevity of this project?
Longevity of the product is forever, because whenever you do a project, is forever. It's not for a short time. But eye of employment in my first phase between 250 to 300 people.
That's a lot.
That will be working in the factory. Security separate, other people separate. The house carrying staff, this stuff.
So he's looking at a very big, large company right there, folks. The worker themselves would be around 250 to 300. That's a massive employment for the people in that area. That excluding the security guards, the cleaning. So this guy really got his things down, and I respect him for that. Yes, he got everything down. But again, the number of people that will be working in our factory will depend. If they're running 3 shifts and you get maybe like 300 people and you're running 3 shifts, that means you're going to take 100 people for every 3 shifts. Or maybe you have 85, 90, and then the other one, maybe another 105 or 110. So you're going to be running 3 shifts. But those 3 shifts will depend on how many rubber will come into the factory. Because depending on how many tons he want to produce within every 8 hours of the day, maybe the first shift can finish all that particular tons. And then there will be nothing left for the second shift or the third shift. Or if you want to keep job, then you can cut the shift off. Some will do half 4 hours, and other people do 4 hours, and other people do another 4 hours. But the full employment, 300, will depend on how much rubber he get in the factory to keep people working. So the projection he's making will only depend on the rubber that will be coming into the factory. Let's see what he says here next. This recording is so sucks. I wish I just had the stuff here with the camera. Yeah, because it so sucks, to be honest with you guys. It's taking so much time to keep going here and there. But the last thing we want to look at here too now is the equipment that the people will be using. Yes. What are the equipment they will be using? How effective are those equipments? How knowledgeable are the employees when it comes to the equipment? Because while it is true that you're protecting the environment, you also want to ensure that you also protect the people who are working around the equipment as well. So that's something that need to be considered also in the process here. And that when you look at different instruments to carry out this thing, but I cannot release all the information here.
For the people who work in the factory, depending how much rubber I get. If I'm getting rubber for 24 hours, I might need more people.
Yes.
Because my capacity to produce is 5 tons an hour of dry rubber per hour.
5 tons an
So
hour.
that
That's a
means
lot.
I need to work 3 shifts a day.
Yep.
What does this project mean for the towns around this place, for the people who live in this part of Magibi, in this Wiyala area, the county as a whole?
For them, it's a light in the darkness. Let me use the right word for them,
Yeah.
light in the darkness. And they believe, and I have told them that soon in years to come, Wiyala will be Kakata.
I'm concerned about whether there are plans for you to have your own rubbers, planted here.
No, I want to encourage Liberian farmers. I want to increase the productivity of Liberians to go into farming. In every country of the world, you can only sustain the country, you can only develop if everybody is working. And everybody can only work if there is farming. You cannot get employment in government sector, private sector. Farming is the best thing which brings success, which brings productivity, which brings growth
He's right.
into the country.
He's absolutely right.
Does that mean that you'll be buying from every rubber farmer?
Yes, sir, from every smallholder. And I plan to open buying station all across the country.
That's good.
So the factory is now being constructed. When do we wish to see it completed? And
February.
Latest by February 2020.
He just told you that, February.
The speed of the project is so alarming. You got your agreement passed this year, and you are already talking about having a commission next year, early next year.
I told you,
and that is the key part.
Julius, where there is will, there is way. I work here sometimes.
That is the key part over there. The faster the construction is going is good, but if they don't put in the right mechanism, it will be a problem.
Such a passion. Sometimes people think these things should take years before they can be done. In fact, people thought it was impossible to get that done in Liberia.
Why? Everything can be done when your mind and heart is onto it.
Yeah.
You cannot, for success, you have to be committed. You have to be focused. And I'm focused into it, what I want to do. I do not think of anything else. Nothing distract me what I want to do. And I will tell here in a public manner, I have the full support of the government of Liberia in this project.
That's a plus.
From President Office, Ministry of Finance, Liberia.
That is a plus there for the WIA administration. If the processing plant come to fruition by month after next, that is a plus for George Weah. If the factory start to operate before the end of May, that is a B plus for the WIA administration, because by then people will be working. So that's a plus for them. I got to give it to them.
If I work 8 to 16 hours, 250 to 300 people, direct employment. But then there will be security, other contractors. There will be thousands of people who will be bringing rubber to me. That is an indirect employment.
Okay, sir. Thanks so kindly. We're around, so let me take you outside to show you how vast and huge this place is. From there, all the way in the distance is the entry to this facility. So we want to go outside this main building of the Jetty Rubber Processing Facility here in Wiyala, Magibi County. First of its kind in Liberia that we are going to have a rubber processing area. Well, the rain has been falling quite heavily today, so you can understand why everywhere is so muddy. Okay, so that is from the entry of the place. I want to show you the structure.
See the foundation I've done? Julius, come, let me show you a foundation. Foundation of the...
This is another foundation for what?
For the pre-rubber stock facility.
Okay.
Look at it.
Yeah.
We have done 10 feet down.
And you started this project in which month of this year?
May 13th.
May, and we already have all of these things here, people. In May.
Now, that hole you're looking at there, he said pre-processing. It's like you go in the shower, you took bath, or you bathe, or you wash your clothes, the dirty water is what going to be in that place. Pre-processing. Some of those locations will be used for pre-processing. Now, where would that water be going after you pre-process that water? That's another thing we need to focus on too.
This one, half of his, factory and half is warehouse.
Okay.
And that is the total factory shed.
Okay.
I told you total is 164,000 apart from other buildings. We are having a chemical warehouse here.
Okay. On that side, with that foundation on that side, chemical warehouse.
And this is rubber storage facility.
That is the most important part now. The chemical warehouse. Many times, facility in this country go kaboom. I am very much concerned about chemical storage in Liberia. We don't have the institution in our country. If I had the opportunity to sit down with the government of Liberia, I would be very keen, because some of the chemical could be used by other people to carry on explosion. Sometimes some of the chemical can be put together and they are not the right type of chemical. They can go kaboom. And that comes from what we call process safety information. But this is very, very big. The thing I'm talking about here, I believe in myself. The understanding of 2/3 of our country will get the information I'm talking about here by the year 2055. What I just say here, with the level at which we're moving in our country to protect chemical, will not be to the full understanding of any government until the year 2050, because they're not ready for the kind of information. But the risks of anything happening in our country is very, very high. But we leave it as that. But when you have a facility where you're going to have a chemical storage warehouse, think about places that got on fire in this country. Even when you go on Google, you do your search, similar rubber plant in Ghana caught on fire. It's all because of poor process safety information. When you protect the environment, you have to protect the workers. You protect the worker from the equipment they're using, and then the tools, especially the chemical they're using, you also have to ensure that the chemical is in the very safe area. Those are the 3 components that you have to put together. So I just thought to share this thing with you guys. I wish this man all the blessing, but I'm very worried about when his operation starts. When we don't put in place the right mechanism, people who will start to develop around our community to have easy access to the factory will become victims themselves from the water pollution, the soil pollution, the air pollution, and the chemical release that will be part of the air pollution. Until we understand this thing, well, one of these days, you will come back to the video and say, J. Randy said it in the past before. So, guys, I would like to say a big thank you to you guys today. Thank you very much for the opportunity. We've been a long day today. We did it this afternoon, and based on my commitment, I'm here to finish this up. Hopefully by tomorrow morning, it's the weekend, we'll be back here again to come up with something different. But I'll say thank you so much for your opportunity. Let us not give up. This platform here will be the #1 platform in terms of providing education to our people as well as the government officials. They know what we are capable of doing here. With the information you got today, I believe now when you go in around any facility, you start to ask this question, especially if it has to do with process and planning. So today, guys, thank you so much for the opportunity. I am so beat up and I need to go and take a rest. I am very, very tired. So I see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for the opportunity. God bless you guys. Share the video, hit the like button. I see you guys. Bye-bye and good night to everybody. Yes. My Henry Young will leave me alone, man. You know what time is it? Let me see it. 10:31 my time. I'm tired, Henry. I need to go sleep. Let me go rest. I see you guys. All right. Share the video. Tomorrow, maybe between 8:30 to 9 o'clock, we'll be here again with another good one. We hit it in the morning, and then we'll see what the evening will bring. And then we'll not have no video again, perhaps until next week, Friday or Sunday. But we're not having video again until next week. All right. So you guys take care. God bless you guys. Bye.